What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Opinionated Off Topic. Today I'm with Carlos Mojica, lovely co-owner and co-host of Opinionated Podcast and Off Topic.
Promoted.
Yeah, I messed up the other day. But today we're here with Faaris, right? That's how I pronounce it.
Yes, sir.
We're with Faaris, another artist in the Austin scene. Does a lot of stuff in the music scene, and really interested to hear more about him. Was listening to his music earlier. Really, really talented. So we're going to jump into his story. Without further ado, I'm going to let Carlos lead it off.
Thank you. Taking time out your day. Coming on the show means a lot. Not too far for you. You work down the street, apparently. So, hey, you already knew exactly where I was at. So it was easy.
Spot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is some prime location right next to everything. So anytime anybody hits us up, not very far. So,
right by the domain.
But just give a little backstory about yourself, where you grew up, where you came from, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So, I actually grew up here, Austin, Texas. I was born and raised here. Spent most of my life here, middle school, high school, everything. Went to Dallas for college. So I was there for 4 years. And now I'm back in Austin. So in terms of location, haven't gone out too much outside of this kind of Austin, mid-Texas area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, I'd be back.
Growing up, did you play any sports or anything? You look like you were a hooper.
Yeah, I like to. Actually, I wasn't even too tall back then, so that was like not even on the table as much as it is now. But for fun, basketball, football. I know you guys big into sports. So yeah, definitely big into hooping, football, table tennis. Kind of random, but kind of nice with the ping pong.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still get ping pong. I ain't gonna lie.
It's fun. Just for fun, I like.
Yeah, and then you never
random.
played like anything in school or anything.
School, no, it's like middle school, and then just some of those like those what do you call them? Like town and country type leagues.
Okay,
I
got
school,
you.
Yeah, growing up. Because I've always been like a skinny dude, so like I couldn't do like tackle football, but like I love playing football. Like it's still my favorite sport to play. But yeah, spike ball's been fun too. I played a lot of spike ball.
Spike ball's fun.
Peak COVID,
It gets intense.
I was spike balling, yeah.
Spike ball gets intense.
Yeah.
What college you go to in Dallas?
UT Dallas.
UT Dallas.
Texas of Dallas.
Yeah. What'd you go for?
Computer science.
Computer science.
Nice.
Comp sci.
And now I'm rapping, so.
Yeah. Hey.
It'd be like that.
Me too, yeah.
It'd be like that.
It's crazy.
You mentioned you played ping pong. You ever played pickleball at all?
Dude, I actually was just, my parents are getting me on pickleball.
Yeah.
They're big into it, so they're always like, you got to come with us, you got to play with us.
Yeah.
And like our gym, that Lifetime, just they changed their courts to pickleball courts. So
Yeah, I saw that.
I played once or twice, but I'm trying to get into it.
Pickleball's like ping, like tennis, like it's on a tennis court,
it's
but
just
ping pong style.
Yeah, it's not as like
They have it at Bolden Acres, right?
yeah.
That's the same
court.
court.
Those courts over there. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Because it's becoming one of those like right now. It's like becoming that real hot like social like work sport. Like everyone's always talking about pickleball stuff. So I was curious if you dabbled in that at all. But that's cool.
What got you into music? I mean, you're going from comp sci.
Always been into music. Always been into music, just not always into rap, I guess. Growing up, I was really into like rock, which is kind of random, just like alternative rock. Mm-hmm. I grew up playing like electric guitar, so I was just like super into that kind of stuff. Then my high school years, like 2015, 2016, I felt like rap and hip hop was just everywhere, and like that kind of like those artists were really taking over, especially like my friend group and my like everywhere I saw it was just like rappers. Mm-hmm. So I got really into it that way, and then just one thing kind of led to another. I just couldn't stop listening, and I was like, let me try this for myself.
Yeah.
Alternative rock. What bands are those?
I grew up on a lot of like. Green Day isn't really alternative rock, but just like types like that, even just like Blink-182 type.
Okay, gotcha.
Like a little poppy-ish.
Yeah, a little. I guess like a little pop rock.
Yeah,
type.
okay.
All American Rejects.
Middle
school anthems.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Say from like 2008, probably 2009. I would probably say that's when like rap's probably been like the most listened to genre. I'd say because that's when Wayne was popping off, and then Drake came into the scene. Kanye was popping off. And then you had your like 2010s rap, and then like Young Money,
Drake, J. Cole,
all that good stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like ever since like 2008, 2009, that's when like rap was like probably the most like listened to genre.
Yeah, and I feel like since then it's just gotten like it's even just exploded somehow even more, and like the artists are getting younger and more like there's just so many more rappers now too, and like they cover all the like ages and everything.
And there's all kind of different pockets with hip hop.
Exactly.
Like, there's a lot of stuff that relates to it, and it's like, is this like rap? Yeah, it is. But it's like, you know, a different type of style and things like that. You said you couldn't stop listening to it, and you were getting super like into the music genre. Like, who were some of your first rappers you were listening to that like kind of got you?
I mean, J. Cole was a huge one. Like that 2014 Forest Hills was huge. Like I could not stop listening to that, and just like the songwriting on an album like that, I just like fell in love with. And so like those guys you mentioned, J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake. I mean, kind of like the big three of my generation. I was just like mesmerized. I was like, wow, I just like couldn't stop listening. So yeah, I would say those guys definitely got me like started for sure.
Who's your favorite rapper
right now?
Yeah, or in general?
Lately, I've been a really big JID fan, really big Jid fan. He is nice with it. I really liked Pusha T's last album. I think he's a phenomenal rapper. Isaiah Rashad, obviously Kendrick, Cole, Drake, those guys.
So you seem like more of a lyricist person.
For sure, yeah. They kind of come into it that way.
That's how I am, because my favorite artist is J. Cole.
Yeah.
J. Cole, Gunna, Thug, Drake, Future. Those are like who I mainly listen to. But yeah, by far, because I like lyrics more than anything, J. Cole.
Yeah.
So like I love everybody. Like Jid, I like refound off D's. Like I knew, like you know about it, but like listening to it again after a while, like damn, both of them like went stupid on this
that
hoe.
Then cold. That song is stupid.
His last album was crazy too.
Jid's?
Yeah.
And then like you have that song that's fire, and then you have your boy Cole Bennett doing the music video for it.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, that thing was a masterpiece.
Yeah, that thing is sick. I remember when that song came out too, and I was just like, no way.
And like knowing J. Cole, like man, J. Cole's like that's not like in his cadence. He can't keep up with that, and then he just turned it up like that.
That's
I was
like
like, damn.
Yeah, that's like natural like pocket for J, because he comes like fast rapping like that. But for J. Cole to like keep up and just go off, it's crazy.
Have you been at Dreamville Festival?
I have not.
No, I want to go so bad. It's coming because I was gonna go this year, but if it was later in the year. But I think it's in like March or something, like early March or early April.
It's in Raleigh.
Yeah, it's in Raleigh. Yeah.
I've seen I think all the Dreamville guys like separately.
Okay.
Like I've seen them all at some point in some show, one or another. But never that.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody.
Okay.
Because I'm not really a concert person, but there's only two people I want to see in concert, and that's J. Cole and Trippie Redd.
Oh yeah.
If this is his last album, I have regardless, I have to go see him his last album or not, but I have to go see him.
Yeah, for sure, dude. He's a great performer.
Yeah, is he?
Yeah, J. Cole, he's one of my
favorite.
favorite.
Very good.
I mean, he's one of the. I mean, obviously because he's my favorite, but even regardless, like he's the one rapper I've seen like multiple times and does not disappoint. No. He puts on like it's an experience.
I saw him at Jambalaya when
I saw him.
The KOD tour. Like that was like the first show of his tour was Jambalaya.
Yeah. I think Trippie Redd played at that.
He was there.
Yeah.
He was like 45 minutes late.
That show, because
he was beefing with 6ix9ine. Like
really?
Literally.
That was one in the back.
Literally, yes. He was like 45 minutes late because of that, and he performed like 3 songs.
Was it at least good? Like did he put like?
Yeah, but it was just like it was one of those things where the artist took so long, got to the point to where you were just like kind of like it was whatever.
Yeah,
you know, at that
dragged
point.
Out a little.
Yeah. So. The only rapper that I've seen in person of recent is Travis Scott, but that was when CJ and I went, a few other friends, we went to Houston when he released Birds in the Trap. That album, and then he's a good performer. He's a great performer. Then like the Astroworld Festival came out, and I was like, I can't do that. That's not for me.
That was the first time I saw Travis was at Astroworld 2019. So before,
and that one was crazy too because you saw a lot of people.
Oh yeah, Kanye came out, Pharrell.
Oh, they're all at that Astroworld.
Yeah, the very first one.
Cardi, DaBaby is when DaBaby was like hot. So like he was there. Rest in peace, Dolph and Key Glock were there. Gucci was supposed to go
because they just came out with Dumb and Dumber 3 or two or 3, something like that.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think. So there's someone else there that was like, Migos. Gunna. I mean, Roddy Ricch came out and he tried to perform the box, but the speakers didn't work.
No way,
Yeah,
dude. What?
Yeah,
the
so there was like a ton of artists there.
Yeah, that's
it was
crazy. Because even this like last one, he brought out Drake, which is like crazy.
Yeah.
Huge. But I mean, that was like you just listen to like 10 artists.
Yeah, and then like
crazy.
seeing like Kanye just pop out of nowhere.
Oh
it's like,
yeah,
that's really Kanye.
I remember those,
yeah,
seeing
yeah.
those videos now.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of like what Kanye has been off the music scene, like just being able to see him in person.
Of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
It's crazy.
Just seeing
That's
an icon.
an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were because he went to this last Astro Festival, and then they were not. You didn't go to
Like
this
the
one.
last
CJ,
one?
Yeah,
CJ
CJ
went,
went.
yeah.
Yeah, and this past one.
Yeah.
And they were leaving when Drake was coming on, and then they heard because he came out to Knife Talk, and they all just started running back.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a fire song to come out
That's
to.
crazy.
Anyways, back to you.
Yeah.
Do you playing? You said you played electric guitar. Do you play any other instruments? And if so, which ones? And does that help you, I guess, write better music?
Mainly just grew up playing guitar. I always like slightly dabbled in like other stuff. Like we had drums at our house, keyboard and all that. It was mainly just guitar though. But then even then, like I'd say like somewhere along the way, or like when this whole rap stuff started happening, like I just fell in love with like the writing of it. So I pretty much just started focusing on like the vocals, the delivery. I don't really produce much, so not much instrumentation these days.
What made you gravitated you towards the guitar and electric at that?
When I was younger, I don't even know, dude. Honestly, I was just watching a lot of Drake and Josh, and Drake used to play electric guitar, and I just thought it was the coolest fucking thing ever.
I mean, I think most people would prefer like to listen to electric guitar over acoustic. I mean, acoustic still sounds nice, but like just the stuff. I mean, when you watch Jimi Hendrix or Eddie Van Halen,
so sick. Even
Slash.
Slash, dude. I was playing hella Guitar Hero 3.
Going crazy.
I was going stupid on that, dude. My
I remember.
goodness.
But just hearing those solos and like seeing what they do with that instrument is insane. It's like, damn, I want to do that. I mean, because same thing with like a snare drum. Like you watch a Drumline, it's like, damn, I want to go play a snare drum now.
Nick Cannon.
Yeah, Nick Cannon. It's inspiring.
How hard is it? Because I've always like wanted to like try to learn.
Guitar?
And my uncle is a really good musician, and he's tried to teach me when I was younger. But you know, when we're younger, it's like if you don't want to do something, we're not gonna like I don't want to do it. Yeah. So
Also, I took lessons when I was like younger too. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just kind of one of those things. Like it's as simple as like. Sorry. It's one of those things that if you want to, like, you can get into it. Like, I have no interest in, like, learning how to play, like, I don't know, like trumpet or anything, you know? So, like, for me to learn that right now is going to be super hard. It's going to be, like, moving, like, heavy, like, weighted bricks. It's going to be that's how it's going to feel. But, like, something I want to do is going to feel, like, effortless. So that's how guitar felt for me. It felt not fully effortless. Like, obviously, it took work and stuff, but it felt like it was something I wanted to do. So, like, it came a little bit easier.
Gotcha.
And also, I mean, I would say like how you're saying like your uncle was like, or you were like trying to learn from him at first. I feel like if I tried to learn from like someone I knew or like a relative or someone, I would also like kind of be like, that'd be tough. I think I almost had to learn from just like a complete stranger and have them teach me the foundation, the basics, and then just go from there.
Have you played acoustic?
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference? Is there a big difference in them?
I mean, obviously the sounding difference.
Yeah.
They're honestly like completely different genres to me, almost seeming like I play like completely different like stuff. Like I'm on the acoustic playing like Hey There Delilah, which I would not even attempt really on the electric. I'm out there still trying to be Slash, so.
Yeah, I feel that.
When was the last time you picked up a guitar?
Dude, it's been a minute. I mean, honestly, I did pick one up the other day, just like a few days ago, but these days it's kind of just like a quick little therapy session, honestly. You know, just get out some Wonderwall, belt out real quick, and then put it back down and start rapping again. So,
so obviously you played guitar, and it's a big part of your life. And he mentioned the instruments help you with music, or do you like, I guess, going into your selection of like beats or production, or are you doing that yourself, or if you not, like, are you going to someone and just like maybe hearing instruments and how it sounds like in real time influence like what you do?
Yeah, the instrumentation of it definitely helps a lot. So I don't really produce. I've just been working with like different producers.
Yeah.
But I love working with producers who like have that sound of like live instrumentation. Like a lot of my stuff will like I feel like you can almost hear like the instruments like separated in the beat. And you can hear like random stuff. You can hear guitar, horns, different types of drums, different types of like brass, like just random instruments. Like I love hearing things like that. And so like when I am like working with producers or when I am like looking through like beats, like that is something that I'm looking for, something that'll like catch my ear, or like an instrument I've never even heard before. That always like draws my attention.
Do you help you write?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, beats in general help me write, just cause like, you know, you hear a beat and you see like the vibe of it, you know, is it like a sad beat? Is it upbeat? Is it, you know, love, romantic? Is it energetic? Do I want to flex, brag on this, you know? So in that sense, yeah.
Do you have like a type of rap genre you're in? Are you like more of a melodic, or are you more of like up tempo? Like what would you classify yourself as?
Yeah, I don't know, cause I feel like I've just done like a few different like types of songs. I feel like I definitely have like my up tempo stuff. I feel like it's almost like a groovy rap type is like what I've been into these days. And then I do the melodic stuff as well too. Almost like pop rap sometimes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, that's super interesting just because, like I was telling you earlier, like we know artists that make their own beats, and then obviously like there's artists that work with producers and stuff like that. So I got on YouTube earlier just kind of like looking you up and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just curious, you're starting like because a lot of artists, I feel like their directional content is just everywhere, right? You obviously have the traditional route of making music videos, and then you have like, there's more stuff that needs to be involved like this, like, you know, the interview, getting eyes, like more of like the backstory, the understanding of an artist that kind of makes it intimate with the fans. But you're doing like these freestyle shorts, and you're picking a lot of beats that are, you know, very popular, or they're like a big song by a big artist. What kind of made you want to start doing that?
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, like these days, the like content is the name of the game. Like just like that short form, you know, throw some captions on. I'm sure you guys know, and you guys do those as well, as like you see they're like effective. So like when I started rapping, or like when I got a little bit into it, I realized that like this is kind of what I have to do to like get eyes. Like if nobody knows me and I'm just dropping like these 2-3 minute songs on Spotify, like no one's going out of their way, open up Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, and just like they're clicking these links from a guy they don't know. So like I have to put something in front of people's faces that's like short enough to digest and interesting enough to like keep them coming back. So I mean that was kind of the idea behind it. And like I think having the lyrics on keeps them engaged a little bit more. I know a lot of people, so a lot of casual listeners listen to rap and aren't even really like kind of listening to what people are saying, or like even looking that deep into it.
A lot of people listen for a beat, and
yeah,
if they like the beat,
sure,
they're gonna like the song.
Exactly, yeah. And like I want the beats to be nice too, obviously, but I kind of want like the lyrics to not go unnoticed either.
Over people's heads, yeah. And I was, because like you said, we have an editor that does like our short form and stuff, and I was like looking at your shorts, and you have, like, I forgot, what is it? I don't know. You'll probably correct me, but there's, when you rap, like sequencing, like the A, B, C, D.
Oh, the rhyme schemes?
Yeah, the rhyme scheme. Like, I like how you color the rhyme scheme and certain things, because a lot of stuff goes over people's heads.
Yeah, and like the wordplay. Yeah, all that.
I thought that was super cool. Because, like, the average person, like, a lot of people listen to music, but they're not listening for all of that.
Right.
So it's like, if you can watch it and see it too, like, I think that's like genius with those shorts.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I mean, I'm putting the work in to come up with these like metaphors or whatever. So I'm like, I want them to at least be like noticed, you know? Like my fear would be that like I would put in all this work and nobody even sees the half of like what's going on. Yeah. So
how long have you been making music?
I started pretty much when we got into quarantine. Really? So that like April, May at 2020, I started recording. Or I like that summer, I just like straight up just Amazoned like the cheapest mic just to learn. And then I kind of spent 2020 just like learning even like how these mics and software and everything connects. I didn't even know what like mixing was. And then 2021, I put out my first single.
Wow.
How consistent were you like writing? Because you have a good pen. And
Right.
for someone who just started, you have
yeah,
a really
that's
good
kinda
pen.
crazy.
I appreciate it. I mean, I try to kind of get into it. I mean, I try to hit it like every day, or like every other day. But like, obviously, some days are deeper than others. Some days I'll just go off, and some days I may not even touch it at all. But I think I'm just, I'm kind of picky in the sense that like I want every line to like be there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm pretty like, my biggest pet peeve with rappers is like filler bars, or like whenever I see rhymes coming, or like just basic stuff. So I try to like avoid all that, and just like, I want every line to be like, oh, like I can see why he said this, or this is here for a reason.
Gotcha,
Or, like,
gotcha.
this brings something to the song.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no.
And then quarantine comes, order a mic, learn everything.
Oh.
And you put out your first single. When did you start making content? And then how hard was it for you to like actually get in front of a camera and do it? Because it's not easy.
Yeah,
Especially
it's
like
still not, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's literally January 1st, that first single came out. So like I was like started 2021 with that song. And then content probably came in like, I don't know, some months after that, maybe like 4 months after that. I was like, I just saw the value. And like, I mean, I was talking like other like artists, like people who are bigger than me, people who are similar level. And I mean, everyone was kind of just on the same page. And like, I mean, TikTok was like obviously big, but it was getting even like, it was really blowing up.
Yeah, that's when it was like at its
Going
peak.
crazy,
I feel
yeah,
like,
especially over that like quarantine time, like
yeah,
so like I mean, yeah, getting in front of the camera is like never, like honestly, when I wake up, it's never like my ideal thing to do, but it's just like something that needs to be done. And honestly, it is like rewarding. Like I am glad that I do it once it's done, because I'm like, it brings new eyes, and like I mean, I end up creating like stuff that I wouldn't have before. Like I used to think that like, oh, I want to just make the music, but like this adds a whole nother like layer of depth to it. And like I kind of like making videos too, honestly. Like editing, it's kind of fun. But yeah, I don't know. It's just the
You
full
edit all
package.
your own content as well?
I do.
nice.
Who shoots it?
I actually shoot a lot of it.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Actually, I filmed I have a song coming out next Friday, or I don't know when this will air, but January 27th. And I went out yesterday.
I think that's actually
The
day it's going to come
Okay,
out.
Yeah.
New song's out today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
check it out.
stream that.
Run it up.
It's called Clueless. Stream that shit.
Okay.
But like, yeah, yesterday I went out and I was like, I need some like promo material. So like, I mean, I just went out with myself and my phone,
Really?
and just like film stuff around. Because
Okay.
I mean, like, I have a homie too who films videos,
Yeah.
and I'll have him come out sometimes. But like, I mean, it's just hard to coordinate sometimes, and sometimes it's just easier, quicker for me to just get
Yeah,
out.
and just too like, I mean, just knowing people or getting to know people, like a lot of like videographers and stuff, a lot of them are kind of chasing like the money.
That,
and they're
yeah.
not really doing it for like that creative expression or
For
like their
sure.
passion, you know. So
Yeah.
I definitely can understand if you can just do it yourself, then just do it yourself, and having to trust somebody that's gonna do it right, and it's your vision at the end of the day, like. Instead of being like, oh, no, I don't like how you shot that. Go shoot it like this, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I have one music video out. I didn't. Just wanted to, for the record, my boy Colin watch it. I didn't. He shot and edited that one.
Okay.
So
Nice.
Is
wanna
that
give him the
is that on
props.
his channel or something?
that one is on my. It may be on his as well.
Okay.
But I've on mine. It's a song called Blind.
Okay.
And then he's helped out with some of the one or two of the freestyles as well. But yeah, I mean everything else.
Do you just get like
just
a tripod, set it
camera.
up somewhere?
Yeah, literally set up a camera. Yeah, and just go then edit.
Cool.
Nice. I applaud you for that because
Yeah.
I mean,
Appreciate
having
it.
to make the music, write to the music, and edit the videos, go film the videos, like it's a
Yeah.
lot. And people don't. How long does it take you to edit those?
Takes I mean these days I've gotten a little bit quicker. I can get it done in like an hour or two, which is like quicker for me
Yeah,
now. Like
yeah,
it
yeah.
used to be like hours, you know,
Yeah.
For what?
for like
15-second
little
video?
clip.
Yeah.
dude. And it's like the lyrics and plus like I always like to film over like more than needed. So just like trimming all that down, sorting through all that. That takes just like the first hour itself. Just
Yeah.
like seeing
Yep.
everything I got, all the B-roll. So yeah.
The first time for you going out and filming it, how was it for you? Was it nerve wracking? Because I mean, you're out in public, everybody's like walking around and watching probably, and you're just going and doing a freestyle and just
Yeah, so the first few I did actually were I shit in my backyard. Like I straight up just like chair have a mic in hand, and I just rap and then put the lyrics over my head. So I did like the first like 8, 10, like straight up just did that way. But then when I started like going out and stuff, yeah, it's weird. You definitely get like, I mean, not even like bad looks, just like, I mean, obviously people are like, oh, like what's going on? Even like I'll do some in the park.
They're curious.
Do some in public, just some in random places. They'll just see like a guy rapping to like his phone. They're like, I guess, but yeah, no, that's part of it, I guess.
We had a tailgate series, and I mean, we in front of this all the time and do this all the time, but like going out and like trying to interview people and like other people walk around, it's a little nerve wracking. You're just like, shit.
Yeah, dude. And then people are just like, not rude, but people like don't even give it the time of day, and it's just like when you get rejected, you're like, oh damn, all right. It kind of like shut your confidence down to go ask somebody else and keep getting rejected to get this interview. So, no, it's definitely like we said, we've been shooting podcasts for almost 4 years, and that was just like very hard to do. And we can talk to whoever, but it was a lot different. Like going up to somebody that has no idea what's about to happen. They're just like kind of guarded, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
It was weird for me too, because I can talk to anybody. I'm just a people person. I can just go up and talk to a stranger. But I think it was nerve wracking for me because like I knew people were gonna say no because there was a camera, and then if somebody said yes, I wasn't prepared for them to say yes. So it's like, oh fuck, here we are. But since there's a camera, everybody's like, oh no, I don't want to like put my face out there or whatever and whatnot. But that's probably was why a little nerve wracking for me, because I've never had trouble just going and talking to anybody.
Yeah. That is y'all are kind of in the interesting space in that way, because like it involves like other people and like you guys going out and getting strangers and stuff. Like, luckily me, whenever I'm feeling like I don't want to deal with people, like I don't have to.
Yeah,
exactly.
Go
ahead. What do you use to like draw inspiration for your music?
I mean, everyday life, I guess, as cliche as that may be. I listen to like a lot of my favorite artists, and I don't know, that'll always like, I'm always like, damn, like that's kind of like a level I want to be at. So like that just like pushes me pen wise. Especially if it's like, you know, rapping, like that's like, oh, I got to come up with like something crazy. But I mean, yeah, it's just like other stuff going on or that has gone on, or stuff I've thought about randomly in the day. Honestly, it's like so random. It can come from like literally anywhere. Trips I've taken, people I've met.
That's dope. Where do you like? Have you had writer's block before?
Oh yeah.
What do you do, or do you go anywhere to like just get a fresh restart?
I mean, I kind of just like I just like take a bit of a break. Honestly, I'll just like kind of go clear my mind for a little bit, however that may be, and try to come back to a fresh mind. But like a lot of times, I don't even like try to force it, and some other people may have like a different opinion on that. Like I know some people will say like you should just like kind of like push through it. But like it's so hard for me too, because like if I'm just writing garbage, I'm like I don't even want to do this. Like right now, like I just like I do it for that feeling of like writing something that's like I'm like really proud of or whatever. But I think there's value in that too, just kind of like forcing yourself through it and just kind of like getting those bad lines out of the way. Which I mean I go through that as well, just getting the nonsense out and then getting upon something that's it's worth it.
Do you have like any like goals set for this year that you want to do with it?
Music wise, yeah. I want to drop a project this year. So I mean, the last 2 years I've been putting out music. It's been all singles. Kind of choosing those singles to like find my sound a bit, find a audience a bit, you know, find some people who are interested. But this year I kind of want to go with the obviously still singles as well. But I want to go the EP route as well for sure. I think that'd be fire. Plus, I'm a big like albums guy. Like I love like cohesive projects, and like the rappers we were talking about earlier, like when they drop projects, you know, it's like experiences. So like that's definitely something I want to do. Obviously more videos, music videos, content, shows, and yeah, just kind of keep building, keep expanding the fan base.
What do you think like you need to do to, like, I guess, grow yourself? Do you think nowadays is it just content, or is it more of just putting out good music?
I mean, definitely both. But I would say like content for me, or like content has had like a huge hand in like some of the people I've seen like see a lot of success, even for like my like whatever bit of like success there's been. Like I've seen content play a huge role in that. It just kind of gives people a way to get to know you quickly too. And so like if, especially because these days with music, if you can kind of like put a story behind your song, then people can latch onto that, people can relate. And I like doing that anyways, because like I like making relatable music, and I like giving the context of some of my songs, be like, oh, this is what it's about, this is kind of like the mind state of writing it. So yeah, but good music is obviously the other half of that. So content on bad music may not work in your favor.
Well, what do you consider good and bad music? Because like,
oh yeah, I mean that's
it goes.
So yeah, no. So
because like what I think is good is it's very subjective. Because what I think is good versus what, because when Kodak first came out, I did not like Kodak. I thought his music was bad, but like he liked it and he thought it was like good music. Yeah. So what you think is good as bad music? Do you think that sometimes will like hurt you in a way? I guess because it could be good to like, let's say 50,000 people, but since you're the artist and writer, like, I don't even like this.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Oh yeah, that definitely happens to me. I mean, that even happens to me on the scale of like, I'll show my homies like some songs I haven't put out yet, and they're like, oh, this has to come out, this, and I'm like, oh, I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah, you don't think it's good.
Yeah, so it's just like a weird, like, when you're like doing it yourself, you kind of see like the flaws, or you see what more it can be, or you've seen better that you've done. So it's just kind of like a weird position. But yeah, I mean, it's obviously subjective. But yeah, it's kind of just like at the end of the day, I'm like, does it resonate with me? Do I think this will like speak even months from now or a year from now? Will I still be glad that I put this song out?
Yeah.
So
do you think like, I guess, because I mean, when my other friends, they'll like show me something unreleased, I'm like, oh, like I get super excited to hear it, something I haven't heard before and stuff like that. But do you think you just being like in a studio environment or around people when you're making music, do you think that helps you more than being by yourself? I've never asked this question, but I'm like curious.
Oh, like making
just
music
in general,
around people or
around
by myself?
People or by yourself? Like,
oh yeah, I mean, so I pretty much have always just made music by myself. I have done it with like a few other, like with people like in the studio or people around as well, but I'm pretty like, it's a pretty like focused zone. It's not like as like a stereotypical like getting lit in the studio type. Obviously when I'm working with other rappers, or like there's a few of us like working together, then we're all like bouncing ideas, stuff like that. But I'm kind of just like a head down and like I just
very focused.
Go in a zone. Yeah, and like because like small distractions even will just throw you off, and it's hard to, and like I'm already in such a like space where I'm like, I need every brain cell coming up with this. So
no, because I've watched like interviews and they've asked like artists like Future and stuff, they were like, or they asked Metro actually, they were like, how's a work environment when you work with Future? And then he was like, sometimes it's crazy, like there's like a lot going on, and then he's like, a lot of times Future would just like text me or call me and be like, I'm gonna come to the studio, and it's just like me and him in a room and it's dark. Yeah. So I was just curious, like it definitely probably depends on like what you're feeling too,
for
like
sure.
Emotionally.
Yeah.
Because music's a very like connected, I feel like, genre with like your being and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Cool to hear. Also too, just got on your Instagram because I was looking at your stuff and I was like, dang, 83,000, almost 84,000 listeners last year, and then almost 400,000 streams last year, 160 countries. How was like that, seeing all those metrics and those numbers?
Yeah, that was I mean, that was crazy. It's hard to even like downplay it. That was like insane because like, I mean, I didn't start too long ago, and like even now, like when somebody listens to my music, it's still crazy to me. Like even just like if some person is like, oh, stumbled across your song, add it to my playlist. Like I'm just like, this song that I don't even know how to explain it. Like it came out of my head, like it came out, I recorded it, and like someone thought it was valuable enough to make it a part of their day. Is still like crazy. And so then when I see like that many people doing it, or doing it that many times, super obviously like rewarding, I guess. I mean, obviously, it's people say not to get like attached to the numbers, and I try not to, but it's hard not to look at that and just kind of like even just set goals for yourself. I'm like, okay, well, that was last year. Like, what are we looking like this year, and what's next year? Like, how are we gonna grow this? So, I mean, that's just kind of where I'm at, I guess.
Still blows my mind. You just recently started. There's people who've
that
been
is
doing
really
it for
crazy.
a while that aren't even
Getting close to those numbers. Yeah.
half of those numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just try to keep myself like consistent, and disciplined, I guess. Like I know a lot of people who like make one song and then like stop.
Yeah.
Or like 6-7 months later they'll come back and it's like, well, people have already forgotten by then.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, and obviously it's like stressful at times just keeping your social medias up and making your music. And then I mean you got your real life outside of all that.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is just a part of it. Like I got like other things going on.
Yeah.
Work, family, friends. So like just juggling all that.
Yeah.
Forget sometimes.
No, I mean, go ahead. You were talking about like the social media aspect, and I keep talking like my friends that are making music and stuff, and they're all telling me that they're confused because like they know they need to promote themselves and like be on social media, but at the same time, a lot of people started like making music, and then they have like their personal, like page as well. So it's like, how do you go about like I guess posting and stuff?
Yeah, no,
and, like just sharing your content.
It's interesting actually because so this Instagram account that you're looking at right now, I made it in that like probably maybe that quarantine time or maybe right before that first single dropped.
Okay.
So I do have just like a private personal page as well for like my family and friends.
Yeah.
And then I kind of have this music page that I started, and then obviously there is some overlap. I have a lot of friends who support, so they all follow that and keep up with that. But I kind of just, and I mean, obviously there's no wrong or right way to go about it. But I felt like I just kind of wanted to make this page, and then I was like, if you know me in real life and you want to keep up with it, like that's cool. You can like come aboard, you can see what I'm doing here. If not, like that's totally fine. Like I don't want to like spam you, annoy you with all this. So that's just how kind of I looked at it.
Definitely feel that, especially with us like starting this, we just gotta have it separate at some point, like 'cause not everyone's gonna like unfortunately care or whatever.
Right, no, they won't. And some people may even grow like that, like aversion almost a bit towards it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Because they're seeing it so much, like, oh, this kid's still rapping, like, what's he doing? So
yeah, no doubt.
Your marketing, is that all from like social media and like the shorts on YouTube and all that?
Yeah, I mean the shorts, the TikToks. I messed around with a little bit of stuff on like Instagram, Facebook, even like marketing or like ad type stuff a little bit. Yeah, I mean that's helped too. The TikTok and the Reels like ceiling is just like.
Is that where most of like your views will come from?
Probably. I would say I do get some like, so I've run some like, I've tested out different campaigns, so I've gotten like a decent amount from them too, and like I've like a lot of people who will hit me up be like, oh, like I saw this like promo vid or whatever, and that like they found my music that way. So like, but content is a huge part of it.
Yeah, I mean, just I'm still on the Spotify. That's just a lot of like listeners. Yeah, I mean, even if it's I don't know, like 40,000 of them, but they just keep playing it. That's a lot of listeners, and I don't know if they just found you through like the Reels, and then is your Spotify under all that, the TikTok and YouTube?
Yeah, it's like all like linked in my like stuff.
Do they have a link tree? I saw that.
Yeah, and then like sometimes I'll do like I'll do like the little freestyles, or I'll hop on like a J. Cole beat or whatever, and then I'll also make content around my song. So like I'll put like it'll be my song in the back and the lyrics up. So and then in the caption stuff, I'll have song title and all that. So great, it's just a lot of that really.
Yeah. When we first talked on Instagram, you mentioned how you've gotten into like managing artists and stuff like that. So, how's that been, and kind of what's?
Can you remind me what I said again?
Yeah, I got you. I can pull up the DM if you.
Okay. Yeah. That might help.
Nah, no worries.
My bad.
Let's see. No, it's all good. Let's see. You said, "Ayo, I'm an artist from Austin, Texas, who's been." I don't know what you said. I'm trying to get a lot of traction. Love to kick it with y'all. And then you send us your email and stuff. And then that was it, really. Maybe am I getting you confused with somebody? Maybe I don't think I am. Do you manage anybody?
I don't really.
Okay, I might be getting you confused with somebody.
Okay, but I thought I may said something along similar lines. So I was trying to refresh my.
Now I'm trying to refresh myself. I'm like,
yeah, no, I mean, y'all
swear.
deal with a ton of people.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Do you have a manager yourself?
I don't.
No, so everything's just through you.
Yeah. Yep.
Damn, you do it all.
I feel like a one-man show here.
You do
but
it
I mean,
all.
I definitely have a lot of people like helping too, like here and there. Like for like, I have a homie who helps out with like the cover arts, stuff like that. You know, some of the like my next music video I'm gonna have like one of my homies help out. So,
how stressful is like having to do all that and then also work itself and then also life itself?
Yeah,
because like trying to be an artist, it's literally a 24/7 job.
Yeah, no,
until you make it, but even when you make it, it's still a 24/7 job.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, obviously stressful. Just having that extra workload is stressful. But like the way I see it now is it's kind of like it brings that relief to the stress that like real life brings anyways. So it's like I could just sit here and think about it and be like, man, I'm so stressed all the time. I got all this stuff to do. I got all this music stuff to do. But like the way I see it now is that like doing this music stuff makes all that other stuff worth it. Like relieves me of all the other stress that I'm going through. And it kind of puts me in this like nice place when things are going well. Obviously, music and everything comes with it.
Yeah, it's a nice outlet for you.
But yeah, nice outlet for sure.
I've asked other artists this question, but what are you? Austin's a big scene for everything. You name it, it's here in Austin. Everybody's moving to Austin. What do you think? What is holding Austin back from being like that next place where it's just recognized for music? Because we have a lot of talented people here, but no one's really like claiming Austin, or like you never hear about anybody big being from Austin. So like, what do you think the artists need to do, or what do you think like? Do you think it's more of like the fans of like in the city aren't helping promote?
I think with rap specifically, which is I mean I mainly just know like kind of like the hip hop scene here. I feel like it just came kind of late here. I don't know why, or I don't know how that happened, but like I felt like in Houston, it was there early. Like it was already there, and they were already popping and like bumping that music. But like here, I mean, Austin is a very like live music city, obviously. So I mean, you get a lot of like your jazz and your like even like blues and rock and like all that. So like I feel like all of that has been so prominent here. Like rap never really got that chance. And now that rap is here, or once that rap kind of got here, the people weren't even like really accustomed to hearing that. So they weren't even ready for it, or like that wasn't even on the radar. But now I feel like kind of like this, like, you know, our generation, it's like younger generation kind of is like bringing that in more. And like, I feel like now the audience is getting a bit more, engaged and in with like, you know, what's going on, and like it'll take time for sure.
How hard is that for y'all as an artist to like not necessarily know your city isn't backing you, but like your city doesn't really back you like that? Like if you work from Houston and you're popping, people are gonna back you.
No, for sure. Dallas too.
Dallas too.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely an interesting position, I guess. I just like to think that, you know, once like an artist like makes it, or like, you know, after making it, then like claiming Austin, and people will be like, okay, see, like Austin has something. That's almost like part of the motivation, you know, it's kind of making it. It's kind of like people being like, oh, Austin does have something to offer in this space. So I kind of see it as like a driver.
Didn't we have one, but then didn't you say like fell off or stopped making music?
Oh, like Noah North.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Well, him,
I actually kind of grew with that kid.
There's another guy.
Noah North and then Quinn FN.
Yeah, Quinn FN.
Yeah, those are, I was actually just talking to CJ about Quinn FN. Just like there's another artist that like kind of is like blown up here. He has like buzz, but I guess like for me, it's like one of those like, what's the next step? You know what I mean? 'Cause he works with like a lot of local artists still, and I feel like when you get to like a certain buzz in your city, you have to kind of expand, like go travel, go make a song with someone else in a different demographic, and continue to grow like that. So you're just not like kind of, you know, trapped in the same area. And it's just so interesting, man, because we've literally always meet artists that are really talented, but we're just like, and they're all from Austin, but it's like what's like causing the lack of like breakthrough? You know, it's just like, it's like a puzzle, you know. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, because we have a lot of talent here. We do. We really do. But there's just no breakthrough artist ever.
Because all you need really is a one breakthrough artist, and then everybody's gonna be like, oh, what's going on in Austin? And then and that's why I want for someone that's like kind of buzzing or at like a certain status to like get outside Austin, break through, and then be like, oh, I'm from here, and then bring it all back, and then that helps everyone get put on at some point. It's like Atlanta, you know, like there's always a rapper like once a year that's coming out of Atlanta that's hot. Yeah. So just because of the scene there.
Yeah. So. What helped Houston a lot, I don't know much about Dallas, but what helped Houston a lot, they just had their own sound.
Yeah, they were good about that. And that's kind of why I like even like some of my stuff has this kind of like funk to it and like this live instrumentation, which I feel like kind of plays into like the theme of Austin a little bit. So
yeah, that could help. Because I mean, before Travis, like when you knew when it was like a Houston song, like that artist or something, like you just knew. And then Travis came along and he just kind of
he's like his own,
changed it a little bit,
one of kind.
And then then
he made it like modern.
Yeah, he made it modern, and then Don Toliver's on the same way. Maxo was kind of on that same. Yeah. I guess trap now. I mean, that's just really the biggest thing is trap.
The
now.
sound, yeah. For you, I guess, because like trap sound is very popular, but you said something on one of your songs listened to earlier. You said something about you just care about like the artistry. So is that kind of like where do you see your music going? Like what direction? I guess.
I mean, it's hard to say sonically. I feel like I just enjoy tapping into so many different I enjoy like R&B and pop and rap and some fusions of all three or mixes of all that. But like in terms of like the lyrics, I guess, and just the message, I just want to be consistent with whatever is true to me. So like even in 5 years from now, I hope I'm just like obviously not rapping about the exact same things, but like it still holds that like level of truth, and like somebody could listen and be like, yeah, this is like a Faaris song. Like they can tell that I wrote this and this came from me. So
that'd be dope. Because do you listen to Maxo?
I don't much.
You don't? But you know who he is?
Yeah.
That's kind of how he is. Like,
really big into him.
He just kind of makes the same music for like it's dope when it first came out. But like now it's just like, I mean, it's the same.
Most people like find a pattern.
Ago.
It sticks, you know, and then they just kind of don't elevate it. And I think it's due to the fact of, you know, when an artist will drop something, and sometimes yes it isn't good, but an artist will drop something that is not like them normally, we're like, oh, this sucks, like why did he make this? But then you like go back to it maybe a couple years later or whatever, and you're like, dang, this aged pretty well, like this actually sounds good like now. So and I
mean, prime example is probably like
Yeezus, I mean,
Cardi's album,
Whole Lot of Red. Yeah, like just stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's like when I came out, I was like, then when I play it again, I'm like, it's still like not my favorite, but like it doesn't sound like how I thought it sounded, you know?
Yeah.
I
was just gonna say like that's why I was like, I feel like it helps to kind of take those risks, and that's why I wanted to take those risks like as early as I could. Like I mean, I was just like rapping, but then I started like singing in my stuff, and like I wanted to introduce that idea like as early as I could, and like all these new styles that I try, I want to introduce it early so that like people don't kind of like put me into that one like it's like the biggest shock if I do something else, you know. It's like if we hear like Eminem like doing like R&B song tomorrow, we're gonna be like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
But like if you introduce it like kind of like how it like a Drake did or like a someone did, and you can tell that this is their lane as well, then you're not you embrace those new sounds that they do. So
yeah, no, it's cool too because it's like you can make some music for a certain period of your life, and then by the time it gets released, you're in like a different phase of your life. So,
yeah, exactly.
That I always thought that's like super crazy. Like someone's like, oh yeah, I was in my feelings when this came out, but then like you see them like when it comes out and they're like booed up or whatever. It's just like it's crazy to see the dynamics of all that stuff. So
ever since getting into rap, have you like dug into like the different generations of rap, or you just kind of stayed in the like 2010s and that's kind of it?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely got into, I mean, big Jay-Z fan as well, and kind of like his era of musicians. And I mean, Eminem is kind of from like a little bit around there as well.
Like late 90s Jay-Z or like early 2000s Jay-Z?
Both, honestly, yeah. And obviously I got into these guys a lot later, but like Nas, going back, because it's like listening to my influences. So it's like I'm finding like the roots of it, you know.
Well, the reason I asked that question, I was like, what do you who What are your top 5 albums of all time
My
for you?
top 5 albums, like my personal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dang. Dang. I mean, Forest Hills just has that like
The nostalgia,
that connection with
all
me.
that,
Yeah. That one it just got me into all this. But I mean, the other classics right there up with it. Good Kid, Mad City. I would put I love I'll do Kanye's Graduation.
That's my favorite Kanye.
Yeah,
album.
That one goes
That's
crazy.
still like to this day goes crazy.
Yeah.
And like it was already so different for that time that it came out. Like it was already in such a different world, and like for it to still hit today's crazy to me. I'm a pretty big Take Care guy, honestly. I think like the introduction of like that kind of melodic rap changed the genre, and I drew a lot of inspiration from it. I'm gonna do, what is that, 4? And then I'm gonna do damn, it's a tough one. I'm gonna do Illmatic, maybe. Nas. I went back to Nas Illmatic a lot.
Nice.
That one's I love just like a clean, cohesive, like no misses, straight to the point, like all like great songs on that.
That album's
I feel
crazy.
like albums like these days have gotten really overbloated.
Yeah,
but that
way too many songs.
Yeah,
bro. Like
that one I can go back to and just kind of like not have to worry about any of that. That's kind of why I like Pusha T too. Honestly, I mentioned earlier, like his last 2 albums, Daytona, I really enjoyed. It's like 7 tracks, all just like no misses. So
He brings it up all the time. Just the problem with music now is everything is just fast music, just fast food. It just comes quick. Like, there was a time where Future was dropping either a song or an album like every other month. It felt like, or
I
every
mean,
month.
Future was. I mean, he was going crazy. Like 2014 and 15, he dropped like 8 or 9 projects.
yeah,
And then like you got people like NBA YoungBoy who just drops all the time. Like I'm probably like 7, 8 albums behind on him.
Yeah.
And then like there's people like Russ started the wave of dropping like a single every week. So you have like that. And like you were saying earlier in the podcast, like if you feel like you're not dropping, like you might drop something, especially like starting. If you're like not dropping something and then you drop something 6 months later, like people are already probably forgot about you.
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of got to be pretty like consistent almost now because everyone's attention spans is so like small.
Super,
like
yeah.
think about how big DaBaby was a couple years ago. Now people don't even listen to him really.
Yeah.
You know?
That was for other reasons, but
I mean, his music, it's not really that. His music just, to me, has gotten
he was
worse.
just the same. I mean,
Yeah,
he's kind
it's
of like
just-
Maxo. Well,
Yeah,
Maxo was the same lyricist
It's the
wise,
same
Yeah.
but like DaBaby was, I felt like was the same like
sound
wise.
Like nothing changed.
yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
I just that is a problem with our generation with music because they just want another, and like as an artist, I feel like that if you always give the demand, your music's just gonna start digressing and
Yeah,
digressing and
exactly.
digressing.
And people get especially when they get used to it. So I feel like if you were dropping a song every week and you took like 3-4 weeks off, people would act like you haven't dropped in a year. They'd be like, "What the hell is this?" Like you kind of have to play this like game almost. So, like you have to find that balance. And I mean, even if I wanted to like do like some crazy young boy album a month type shit, like I couldn't do that even if I wanted to. Like I just can't even, or not at the quality that like I would like to.
Yeah, no doubt. Especially when it's like not your full time, deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it would be like just quick, almost probably trash level stuff coming out if I did it at that rate.
Yeah, but then you got, I mean, he's kind of the only one, but you got your people like Kendrick that don't. What does he have? 4 albums?
Kendrick has Section 80,
Section 80,
Kid Mad
Good Kid, Mad
City, Damn,
To Pimp a Butterfly.
To Pimp a
Butterfly,
Damn.
Damn,
Fifth.
and then this is
his
fifth studio album, but he
Yeah.
has like 6 or 7 projects, probably. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Overly Dedicated came out.
Yeah.
Like the
back
gap
in-
between these last
Yeah.
between Mr. Morale
Yeah.
and Damn was like what 4 or 5 years.
But
And the
even
gap
look
between
at
Damn and this one,
Yeah.
it was like another 4 or 5 years. I
Yeah.
think.
it's super interesting because like you have artists like Kendrick, Cardi, sometimes Uzi, like they all just like disappear, like go
Frank
MIA.
Ocean.
Frank Ocean, yeah, like go MIA, and they're not dropping any stuff. And then like their fan base loves Kid Cudi. Like that has that like mysterious, you know, aspect to them. And then you have like these other artists who are dropping like all the time too. So it's like you said, it's like this weird game. But then you have people like Travis. Like Travis hasn't dropped in 5 years almost, but he's staying relevant because he's done so much stuff outside of music, like with his clothing, obviously who he dates, and then he's still like getting on people's songs every now and then. Like he's gonna be like featured on like the most upcoming project normally that comes out. So it's definitely super interesting, like how you can stay relevant in different ways.
Yeah. I think that like speaks a lot to their like ability to even create that like fan base in the first place. Like they've created something so special that people connect with so much they're willing to wait like 4 or 5 years. And I mean I'm one of those people too. Like I wait for Kendrick albums. Like I'm like he takes his time, and then I know when the time comes it'll be like, something special.
Yeah. Do you think, like, for both of y'all, do y'all think that like hurts him in a way, not dropping as frequently?
Who?
Kendrick. Because I feel like, because I had this, I mean, I'm also a little bit biased, but I think J. Cole is the best rapper ever. But it's between J. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake.
For sure.
But I think J. Cole is the best to ever do it. One of my friends thinks Kendrick is the best, but I brought the argument that I feel like the lack of drops kind of hurts him when it comes into an argument, because there's not a recent memory of, if this album wasn't out yet, there wasn't like the recent memories. Damn, whether with J. Cole or Drake, last year was the most recent memory you have. Yeah. So do you think like him dropping not that often hurts him?
Dropped after he just dropped though.
No, I'm saying if that, but it's like, damn, lay off this album. Okay. Lay off.
Yeah. No, I would say like for artists like that, I mean, I feel like it just really doesn't matter. Obviously, when you're comparing it, but you're comparing it in so many different ways. Like if you look at Kendrick's body of work, all his albums are so much different from each other, and they all serve their purpose and they all perform well. Like I feel like that has to be kind of, elevated. Then you have people like J. Cole, who was very good, but he was like kind of the underrated of like, he was kind of like in Drake and Kendrick's shadow in a way. And then he dropped Forest Hills Drive, which is like his mainstream, like really commercial success album. And then obviously J. Cole's been on like this spiritual wave and journey, which has people just like gravitating towards him because he's just like an amazing human. And then you have people like Drake, where statistically Drake is the best ever because of his sales, etc. And he's super popular. But Drake also he's a person that's so popular that he can just kind of put out whatever and it'll perform well. And that's why, like, at least for me, until this last project that he dropped with 21, I was like kind of like, when people are like, oh my God, Drake's dropping, I'm like, oh, whatever, like I'm gonna listen to it. But I wasn't really excited because you know what you're gonna get from him. You're gonna get a few club like banger songs, and you're gonna get a bunch of filler really, and then maybe like a couple like deep cuts. And that was like kind of the formula. And I think he was starting to realize it, and that's why like he came correct with this album. So like I said, like you said, I don't know. I don't think that hurts Kendrick, but I definitely think if you're not tapped into music like that, to the average person it hurts Kendrick. But to like people like us who like care about the craft and like know, like understand it, I think it makes us appreciate it more, because we're like, oh, Kendrick's about to drop, like I'm locking in for that, Yeah. So that's at least my answer on it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. On kind of that distinction between like, I guess like casual listeners and people who are like in tune with that culture. Like when Kendrick was about to drop Mr. Morale, like I mean, to me it was like, I was like, holy shit, this is like crazy. I couldn't even believe that he announced it. I feel like Kendrick does it for, it's like the legacy. It's like he doesn't even care how it's perceived right now. He doesn't even care like what are the hits right now. I feel like he does it for in 10, 15, 20 years. We're looking back on his album covers and we feel something. We see that Good Kid cover and we're like, that is just like a classic.
You can literally feel that album.
We see that Damn cover, that Tip and Pimple Butterfly cover, and it's like it took us years to get to that point, and now we can look back and be like, wow, this is like an incredible body of work. So I feel like his goals are like a little bit more long term.
Gotcha.
And I feel like Drake is kind of almost like the opposite of that. Like Drake is like, I do think Drake still wants to like have those classics. Like we look back, and we will look back
Yeah.
in decades from now and look back and be like, that was a crazy run. I mean,
Yeah.
historic,
yeah.
best runs
Yeah.
ever. You know, like. But I feel like right now he does take advantage of the moment, like, and being like, all right, this is hot now, like, and I mean that more power to him, honestly.
Yeah,
that
for sure.
that just elevates him even further. So,
Yeah.
I think it's cool that like we have those two guys who are both at kind of like the top of it and are almost like so opposite, like
Yeah,
doing it
that's
so
super cool.
differently,
Yeah.
but still like killing it and like still like top of the game. So I find that super interesting.
Yeah.
Who was your GOAT rapper?
It might be Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Thing with Kendrick is like I'll go back and like I'll go back to a song I've probably heard 1,000 times and I'll pick up something new that I didn't even hear the first time and I'm like, holy shit. And that happens to me with Lil Wayne a lot too, actually.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne may be my go-to. Like Weezy's crazy actually, dude, and his catalog is also
I don't think I've ever asked you that question.
goated.
What?
Who's your GOAT rapper?
It varies, bro. Like I really don't know, man, because there's just so many people can get thrown in there that don't get thrown in there. That you can throw Future in there. You can throw like even Travis to an extent in there, just from like maybe not from like a skill standpoint, but like what he's doing for music. So like there is this like it's just such a hard subjective argument for me though. Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like I gotta lean Drake just due to the fact, like, not for me, but like in general, just because like Drake's literally like you get Drake features on your song, you're gonna blow up. Like, I don't think if Kendrick and J. Cole I don't think they can do that for other artists. Like they'll blow them up, but it was not the same as like you just get on some random person's album. Oh my God, Drake's on this song, like. You know, and it just elevates that artist so much. And I just think, like, being able to just do that, you just have to be, like, the GOAT. But he's not my GOAT, though, just because.
Yeah. I mean, what do you say? I get on your song and make a label think they need you?
Yeah. No, it's for real, though. That's true.
He's
like,
crazy.
Dead ass true.
Yeah. Like I said, I might be biased, but I'm J. Cole.
Yeah, he probably is my, like, favorite rapper.
I really like Logic a lot. He gets a lot of slander just because of, like, I feel like the average music fan, he gets a lot of slander because like they saw him like he blew up off that Suicide song.
Yeah.
And they that's like their first representation of him or whatever. And then they like listen to that album that it's on and it's like all him talking about like contextual, like biracial music or like rap. But that's not like the type of artist he is, you know? So like he automatically, in my opinion, had that stigma where he was just like corny, but he wasn't. Yeah. But like if you like came up with him, like me and Carlos were listening to him in high school, watching like his vlogs, day-to-days and stuff, which was completely different from when he dropped 1800. So, because even for like when that album came out for me and Carlos, you were like, oh, like what is this? Like I'm not really trying to listen to this.
Yeah.
So the average person, like, I don't know, cancel culture is very real. Like as soon as someone thinks you're corny or trash, like, and it might not even be true, they're gonna immediately slander you or whatever. So I mean.
Drake's corny.
Yeah, dude, not.
Drake is corny, but like Drake's also one of those people, like dead ass. When Drake drops stuff, people be like, "Oh my God, like no misses," or "This is the best thing ever," and like that's just not true every single time, you know. But you know, it's just like, what can you say to people? Once people have their mind made up on something, you can't change their mind.
I think what it is, I guess that's how it is with Cole for me. Why I think like he's the only artist where I can put on every single work that he's made and not skip a song.
Yeah,
I can skip Drake songs. I can skip Future songs. I can skip Gunna song. I can skip any other songs.
I definitely skip some J. Cole songs.
I could skip Tupac songs. No, I'm saying, but that's just how it is for me.
Like Friday Night Lights. What's the first album called?
Album or mixtape?
Silent Story. Yeah, there's a lot of rough songs on Silent Story. Like that album did not age well.
No, I think that. It was hard because of the time he was in there. I felt like
that song with Missy Elliott, boy. Skip.
Was that Nobody's Perfect?
Hey, but that's a
like it's
Nobody's
nice.
Perfect.
Like
it's
nice, but like I don't know. Like I don't know. There's just a lot of like you can tell like if you like go from getting on a little tangent, but you go from like Friday Night Lights and the warm up to that, it's like
I mean
like those two
Friday
and
Night
then like
Lights is classic.
Yeah,
to
those
me.
two
That's
and then
crazy.
the Sideline Story. I feel like he kind of dropped off just a little bit, and then he like.
But it's just like the same thing with Logic. You go for, I mean, all it is a mainstream album. That's all it was.
Yeah, but it was his first album though. That's the difference.
Still, all it was. It's just
Yeah,
a mainstream
yeah.
album. It has to be different because not everybody's gonna like that underground type music.
Yeah, I
That's
feel like
true.
he was like
Workout. Then he made
yeah.
Let Nas Down on the next.
Exactly. That's why I feel like that album was kind of like that. Like I think he needed, even just like from a label standpoint, like he needed a bit of like that mainstream appeal to even have it marketed and pushed out. Because like his past projects, like Friday Night Lights, like I think I heard in an interview one time, he was like that was he wanted that to be his like debut album, but that's just like straight album. That
album was crazy.
Because he's just like an album cut type of guy.
Yeah.
He's not a singles guy. He's not like a hits
no.
guy. So then when like Sideline Story time came around, he's like, all right, need
Because
some
like you have
hits.
that, but you look at all his other work, like
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
I just felt like that just had to be a mainstream album.
Yeah, no doubt. No, I get like where you're feeling. It's definitely like a slippery slope because if you like, say for example, if you signed a record deal, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, I'm gonna put out my first. You've been putting out mixtapes, EPs, underground, right? You're about to put out your first commercial album, label backing, all that stuff. You're gonna wanna like try to push for that hit. You know what I mean?
Maximize that like opportunity.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you that question. Are you someone who wants to stay independent or sign to a label?
I mean, I feel like for now, I feel like independent makes a lot of sense. When it comes to a label, I feel like it would have to make sense.
Yeah.
That's it, terms. But I mean, I'm pretty adamant on having like control, as any artist really is. You know, I want control. I want like ownership. So I don't know if any label's cool with like artists like without giving that up, but I feel like that's just what it comes down to.
Would you rather sign to TDE or Dreamville?
Yeah, I'm a Dreamville guy.
Dreamville?
Yeah,
I fuck with that
Dreamville
jacket you had, the Letterman.
Yeah,
Letterman's Where'd you get it?
Dude, it was like online. They were having some like actually one of my friends got it for me. I think they were having like a quick like some Dreamville sale on their websites, like some limited like edition type shit. And so copped, and then
Yeah, that
I was
jacket's
like, well,
fire.
and then I was like, I gotta put it in a Dreamville like verse, you know?
Yeah, that was fire. How far do you want to like take your music career? Like what's the plan?
As far as
for
I
you?
can go.
Yeah,
I
sky's
feel
the
like
limit.
I'm just I'm in it now, and I just like I look at what I've done and I want to just keep going to the next thing and just like keep pushing it forward, keep moving, and like I'm addicted to this like the progress of it all, and like the journey of it all, like the ups and downs, like it all makes for like the beauty of it to me.
yeah,
But like the fulfillment I get from it, and like what I've already in this like little amount of time, like what I've already like I feel like it's done for me. Like I can't imagine ever even stopping that, like ever letting that go. Even if I like never make it or it never comes out to be like what it is, you know, it's just like in me now. And like, I just always want to make music and always just like push that forward.
yeah.
So,
Last thing for me, who are some artists that are mainstream that you would want to work with?
artists
Okay,
that
like your top 3 artists that are mainstream you would want to
yeah,
work
I
with.
mean, we talked about that Drake feature, what it does for artists, right? So,
Nah, for sure though.
so I mean, I like him as an artist too.
Yeah.
So that'd be crazy.
You get that, you're set.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would love to have some like just like pop singers. You know, I love it when you'll get like a Justin Timberlake, Jay-Z type song. Like I love that type of stuff. Or like even some of these like pop stars like Dua Lipa. I mean, these are obviously just like pipe dreams, but
Dua Lipa go crazy too.
exactly. Like I feel like a feature like that would just be like next level.
Yeah.
And I mean, they just have such a like
The baby, it was the baby that had the feature with her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's like
I think that was like right before it all started going downhill.
Yeah, and he was like, the baby's like, I'm a pop star, not a rapper. Yeah.
He's a fool.
We can do baby.
Do you have anything?
No, actually, no, I mean, are you like gonna like, what's your plan with like, I guess releasing? Are you gonna like make music videos or like, what's kind of your thought process on music videos? Because like my biggest inspiration just for creation in general is Cole Bennett. and like the way he does music videos and like just brings that inspiration. And I mean, he pits artists on too. You get a Cole Bennett video, you're on now.
Yeah.
So
he's that guy.
I guess like seeing stuff like that, what's your like plan for music videos and the direction you want to take those?
Yeah, no, I definitely want to do more music videos. I'm kind of in like an interesting spot with them because it's super fun to do, looks super sick when it's done. It's just like the investment, and like I heard Russ talking about this the other day too. Like no artist, like you don't do music videos to make it back on that. Like nobody's making their money back on music videos just because like that budget gets high. You know, you're like videographer, editor, and like if you go to a studio, if you're filming in different locations, sets. Yeah. So it comes at that cost, but then I mean you get the benefit of like showing your kind of like vibe to the world, and like even like you see an A$AP Rocky video, you're like, this is an A$AP Rocky vibe, you know? It's like it has that like aesthetic to it. So like it helps people kind of get to know your style and your like even just like down to like the clothes you wear, the way you like present yourself. I think is all like valuable stuff that comes across in music videos. So I definitely do want to do more. And I mean, even nowadays people do music video and just like splice it up into content, which is like also, you know, super, super helpful. But yeah,
I think music videos are just so timeless too. Like
they are,
when you're just sitting down with your friends and like you have like a speaker or whatever plugged up and you're just like chilling, or you like at a kickback, but instead of just playing music all over to the aux, like you got a visual on. I don't know, just something about like seeing that, and it's like watching the video with the song, you're just watching different artists and stuff, and I don't know. I think that's just so.
Me and my
dope.
friends do the same thing. We'll like hours. We're just like YouTube will suggest the next 5. Like,
you're just like going through the list.
Going bad. Yeah. And so music videos are definitely sick for that. Plus, it gives some like context to the song. Like you may even like learn something new about the song. And you're like, oh, this is kind of like what he was going for with it. So.
Yep. Yeah. That's it for me. That's it for you.
That's it for me.
Do you have anything for us before we hit this off?
Should be good. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. It means a lot. They can find you everywhere. Faaris, what, 2 A's, correct?
Yeah, 2 A's.
How'd you come up with your name, actually? Last question. How'd you come up with your name?
It's actually just my birth name.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking of, I sat around for like a little while and just tried. I feel like the thing with, not to go on a whole nother tangent
go ahead.
But I feel like the thing with stage names is just like, it's just so hard to, like, I just know if I tried going that route, like, the way I would get, like, clowned, not even clown, but just, like, it's hard to carry yourself until you like make it, right? Like somebody comes up to you and they're like, you know, I want my rap name to be like friggin' Young Gravy or Lil this, Gravy. Right? Like people look at you a little sideways, but then you make it and they're like, oh yeah, that name makes
Young Gravy.
total sense.
You don't even think about it. Like
exactly.
Playboy Cardi, like imagine like calling
even me,
Lil
right?
Baby.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I came up and I was like, I want to be a Lil Baby, like
NBA Youngboy. Like imagine, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what you tell people, like, yeah, I'm NBA Youngboy. They're like, what?
They're like, dog, we have a league with that name already.
No, that's super interesting.
But
for sure.
So I was like, just go with the government.
Did you add an A, or is your name spelled with the next A?
Yeah, name is spelled with the 2 A's.
That's dope.
I've met some others, I guess I've heard some others with maybe just 1 A. So I don't know. It's an Arabic name. Parents gave it to me, so I was like, I'll roll with it.
Yeah, that's dope. But you can find them everywhere.
Yeah, Faaris. .mp3.
It's on going to be Instagram, and then Spotify's going to be
Spotify,
just straight.
Just the name. Yep. Just Faaris everywhere. And then
YouTube as
YouTube
well.
And Instagram. Spotify.
We'll have everything.
Yes, sir.
Super excited for your future. Like I said, for as little as you've been doing it, your pen's crazy. It really is.
Man. Thank you.
The freestyles that you did.
That is
nice.
Pen is my top priority at all
nice.
times. So
that's nice.
That means a lot.
Go run up his views. Go run up his YouTube, his Spotify, all that good stuff. But that'll do it from your boys over here at Opinionated. We'll catch y'all guys next time. Peace.